Hi guys, and welcome along to today's video. Now the last video I did was on airlocks in central heating systems, and some of the good devices are around now to help get rid of the air and save you a lot of problem. Now some of you asked about airlocks in the domestic hot water system and the cold even up in the bathroom. So obviously this video is aimed at all of you with F&E's type systems. Okay, if you've got a combi, go and have a coffee somewhere. Forget this one, it's not for you. But okay, for all you others with F&E's. So you said that sometimes you get an airlock in the actual hot water tap, sometimes you get one in the cold tap even. And will these devices do the same job? Will this thing here help alleviate that problem and stop me getting airlocks in the system? And the good answer is yes, it will. This automatic air vent will help you put in the right place to stop that happening and allow you to get the air out without you having to do anything using hoses and all the rest of it to try and get the air out of the system. And also, if you want something a little bit smaller, a bit not so noticeable, you can always use an auto air vent in a female iron like that. I did show you earlier, didn't I, that one there, and you can screw that in there and just so it's not so visible if it's in view. You don't want to see a great big bottle like that, do you? But okay, luckily most of these things need going in the loft if anything, so I'm going to take you to ours dodgy drawing number 47 or whatever it is, and I'll show you where and what actually happens while you get airlocks. Here then is one of Al's rough dodgy drawings. And as you can see, stopcock there, and the mains comes up and it goes into the tank and fills it with water. So what kind of things go wrong then to cause airlocks? Well, it's quite easy really, because if you think today's modern world, your main will come in here, and quite a lot of us now have got washing machines, dishwashers, before we even get to the kitchen tap. And if someone, say, was having a bath up here, or shower or whatever using water, it's quite easy for these things to be working and whirring around. Someone using a kitchen tap, even an outside hose out in the garden, I haven't included one of those, but could be running, all of which would prevent the mains pressure from getting up to the ballcock here, which means this would hardly be filling. So if someone was running water down here at the bath, for instance, running a bath, that level would drop down, and once it gets to this pipe hole here, for the hot one, what would happen is that air would enter and cause an airlock, and you wouldn't get any more hot water out. Even though the tank would fill back up, you'd still get air in there, and you'd have to blow it out with a hose or whatever to get it out. So this is a kind of reason why it happens so much these days. And also, for those of you that have got a cold feed that comes off the tank and fills the bathroom via a cold line rather than the mains, again, you know, if you run the bath taps here, the cold and the hot, then it would be too much for the filler valve, and you would find the water level would drop down and not only airlock the cold one but a hot one as well. So you're really in trouble. So it is an ongoing problem really that we've got to try and get round. So bearing in mind that these things can happen, obviously it's good to not run the washing machine or the dishwasher or an outside tap in the garden while you're doing a bath or something else that you need water for to stop that air in the first place. But what we're on about here is things to sort this out. Right, looking at the leg for the cylinder, it comes down here. You can see it there, it pops out of there, out the tank, it runs down here and into the bottom of the cylinder. The water comes out the top of the cylinder, it vents up in the loft, so there's no air problems there, and then you get a leg running across, and it could be dropping down here, there, anywhere, and going round to the feed, the bath and the basin, and down to the kitchen tap. There's a potential spot for an airlock. So you know, you can see that that region there would lock with air if that emptied, because you'd pull the water out and leave this pipe empty. The tank would fill back up, but the air wouldn't manage to get past this length of tubing here. But if you had one of these boys here, there we are, it's all fitted. There we are, it's on our stall, there we are. If only it was easy, eh? If only it was that easy. Okay, but you can see what I'm getting at here. And also these legs have got to be as short as possible out of the tank, because this is another point where you can get air, because when the tank does refill, if this is a long length here before the drop, like on this cold feed, then you could get air here. So if you had a stalk on here as well, it would help prevent airlocks, because if you get one there, it won't even feed into the cylinder. Okay, it will block off. And likewise with the cold one, like this one here, has got a long leg. These are only examples, and then there it drops down. And obviously this length here of pipe is going to get air in it. So there would be a good point for another one of these air stalks up in the loft, so you wouldn't even see it. You know, it really would be tucked away, but do the job for you, so that when you get an airlock, for the price of one of these things, you know, obviously it's well worth doing. And obviously when you're down here, I mean, I haven't drawn these up under the floor, but you can see that hot one coming up under the floor to there. Possible, you know, you could get air there. If you ever did, you could always put a small one down under the floor, especially if there's any bends in the pipe that drop down before it goes up to the pipe, because sometimes plumbers do things, silly things like going under bits and pieces that are passing above. You may have wires and stuff here, so they bend the pipe and it goes down like this and comes back up, but you'll never know it because it's under the floor. And obviously that would be a real potential airlock problem there. So something else that does happen and you just don't know why. So you start by doing the obvious problems, air stalks there, any long lengths of pipe or anything that has to bend back down or rise at all and then drop. That's when these boys come into a useful, good catalogue of items. Okay, the automatic air valve. So I hope that's helped explain a few little bits for you and why you do get airlocks so easy these days in the domestic system. That's it then, just a follow on really from the video before on airlocks in central heating systems and the usefulness of these great items here, the automatic air valve. Okay, that's about it. The usual place to go for all my stuff. Keep watching. Derek and 33. Thanks guys, bye bye.